Hello everyone, welcome back to the show. We're here in Washington, D.C. to check out J.T Waldman's interpretation of Megillah through the art. Let's take a closer look. The book of Esther begins with Achashverosh, a king who holds a great empire in his hands, but is weak and easily manipulated by his advisors. During a drunken party, the king summons his queen Vashti to display her beauty to his guests. When she refuses to appear, the king's ministers suggest they banish her and publish a decree that men throughout the kingdom are masters of their families. Waldman illustrates the mystical idea that Vashti breaks a heavenly vessel when she refuses the king, setting the story in motion with a bang. As Vashti exits the story in verse 12, she makes way for Esther's entrance. Waldman also gives Vashti an exit line from the Talmud: "Tell him I have leprosy, that I have grown a tail. I am no stable boy's plaything." For no fewer than 180 days, Queen Vashti refused the king's word and did not come with the eunuchs. The king foamed profusely and burned in rage. "Send for the maidens and the good-looking virgins." Here you can see where you can really interact with the art, picking different parts of the exhibit and seeing what you feel you connect with. Haggai, the king's eunuch, treated Esther and her handmaids with special kindness in the house of the women. Esther did not reveal her kindred, for Mordecai told her not to. When the maidens assembled a second time, Mordecai sat in the palace gate. Esther still told nothing of her people, for she continued to obey Mordecai's bidding. And Mordecai told Queen Esther of the plot against the king. And Esther told the king, in the name of Mordecai, the matter was investigated and confirmed, and the plotters were hanged. All that transpired was written in the book of the days before the king.
Not long after Esther becomes queen, Mordecai offends the grand vizier, Haman, by refusing to bow down to him. Haman decides to punish not only Mordecai, but all the Jews in Shushan. He informs King Achashverosh that the Jews do not obey the king's laws, and that it would be in the kingdom's best interest to get rid of them. He asks for permission to destroy them, which the king grants. Haman then orders the king's officials to kill all the Jews, young and old, women and children, on the 13th day of the month of Adar.
Waldman depicts Mordecai's anguish upon hearing of the revenge that would be exacted for his action. Mordecai performs the rituals of mourning and sits at the palace gates, hoping to attract Esther's attention. With the chambermaids acting as intermediaries, Mordecai asked Esther to intercede with the king. Since it's dangerous to approach the king uninvited, Esther is reluctant, but Mordecai insists on Esther's responsibility to her people. Her acceptance is, according to Waldman, the beginning of the emergence as a leader. Waldman conveys Esther's fear and bravery during 3 days of preparation for appearance before the king. When Esther arrives, Achashverosh, alone and bored, spares her life and offers her great riches. Rather than name a price, Esther invites the king and Haman to a banquet. At the feast, Esther asks only that they attend a second banquet the following evening. Haman boasts to his family and friends that he is secure in the queen's favor, but in his sense of self-importance is punctured and Mordecai remains unbound. Haman determines to go to the king early the next morning to seek permission to kill Mordecai right away. In a nightmare, Achashverosh dreams of the destruction of his kingdom.
After learning that he has not honored Mordecai, the man who saved his life, he orders Haman to dress Mordecai in the king's robe and to lead him around the city on the king's horse. Later that night, Esther tells Achashverosh there's a man that wants to kill her and her people, Haman. Achashverosh, in rage, orders Haman to be hung on the same gallows that he wants to hang Mordecai on. Esther issues an edict giving Jews in every city the right to assemble and protect themselves against anyone who may try to harm them. When the appointed day arrives, the Jews defend themselves against their attackers, killing and destroying them. According to the book of Esther, this happened on the 13th day of Adar. On the 14th day, the Jews rested and made a day of feasting and joy. Mordechai declares that the victory to be remembered every year.
As you can see, J.T. Waldman really brings art and religion together to create a unique Megillah reading. This is Aaron Herman, and thanks for watching.